Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a topic that's, well, it's fundamentally reshaping strategic decisions and career paths everywhere. We're talking about the profound impact of the AI revolution, specifically on the consulting industry. Our mission here is to really unpack how AI isn't just another tool in the box, but a truly transformative force. It's redefining consultant roles, intensifying competition, and it demands pretty significant adaptation for firms, not just to survive, but, to actually thrive. We're drawing from our comprehensive research report and some really compelling analyses like that piece in the Wall Street Journal, how the AI boom is leaving consultants behind. That one really caught my eye. Okay, let's unpack this.
It's definitely a hot topic, and it's fascinating because AI really is this dual-edged sword for consulting firms.
Dual-edged how? Like the opportunity and threat.
Exactly. On one hand, you have these incredible opportunities. Efficiency gains, sure, that's the obvious part.
Yeah.
But our research highlights something deeper. The real advantage, the alpha as some call it, isn't just about doing analysis faster. It's AI's power to find these hidden correlations, predict market shifts in ways human teams, no matter how brilliant, simply couldn't manage on their own. This is genuinely creating whole new service lines, new value propositions.
Okay, so that's the opportunity side. What's the other edge of the sword?
Well, the threat side is just as real. It absolutely threatens traditional consulting roles, particularly those heavy on, let's say, routine analytical work. And client expectations, they're shifting dramatically. They aren't just looking for advice anymore. They expect deeply data-driven insights, rapid decision-making, and often they want it facilitated directly by AI tools. And, this isn't just a consulting industry thing. It's really a blueprint for how AI is likely to impact many knowledge-based professions. It forces this fundamental rethink about where human value truly adds the most. Well, value.
That point about hitting correlations versus just speed is key, I think. It implies a much deeper shift. So if that traditional model, reliant on human expertise, manual data crunching, if that's becoming obsolete fast, what does a consultant's job actually look like in this AI-powered world? Does a human role shrink, or does it change into something else?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the research strongly suggests it's more about elevation, a transformation. Consultants need to move from being, let's say, the primary providers of human insights to becoming more like orchestrators of AI-powered solutions.
Orchestrators. I like that term. What does that mean in practice?
The key insight isn't necessarily turning every consultant into a hardcore data scientist. It's about developing what you might call AI fluency, understanding how to pose the right questions for AI, how to critically interpret the outputs, how to govern its use ethically. They become AI strategists, not just users. And we're already seeing the big players like McKinsey, BCG really pioneering this. They're using advanced machine learning, maybe predictive models for, say, demand forecasting, or even reinforcement learning for optimizing strategies on the fly. They're building AI directly into their core methodologies to boost strategic planning, operational efficiency. It's about augmenting human expertise, not just replacing it.
Here's where it gets really interesting, this idea of augmentation. But if the roles themselves are transforming so much, how does that ripple out into the competitive landscape? Because, with this kind of tech capability, the whole playing field must be shifting. Who are the new challengers? How are they shaking things up for the established firms?
Oh, absolutely. The landscape has become much more intense and from several directions. Yeah. First, you've got the rise of what we call AI-native competitors.
So startups.
Exactly. Specialized AI startups, boutique analytics firms. They're lean, agile, totally focused on data-centric solutions. And often, they can offer these services at lower costs, which puts pressure on traditional pricing models.
Makes sense.
Then, maybe even more significantly, you have the tech giants entering the fray. Think IBM, Google, companies like that. They already have massive AI capabilities, the infrastructure, the resources. And they're now offering pretty sophisticated consulting services.
And they can bundle it, right?
Yeah.
With their other tech offerings.
Precisely. That creates a very powerful integrated value proposition. It's tough to compete with. And this dynamic, it poses a huge challenge, especially for smaller traditional consulting firms. They often lack the capital for big AI investments, the specialized training. It's a real uphill battle for them. It really underscores how technology can disrupt any industry when new agile players leverage it effectively.
Sounds like a classic disruptor, be disrupted scenario playing out. So what are firms actually doing about it? What are the proactive strategies? How do they navigate this? Not just survive, but actually find long-term success. And, thinking about those smaller firms again, Is this kind of large-scale investment even feasible for them? Or are we just going to see massive consolidation?
Yeah, those are the crucial questions right now.
Hmm.
The responses have to be multi-pronged. It's not just one thing. The larger firms, unsurprisingly, are making huge investments in AI tech infrastructure. We're talking advanced analytics tools, complex machine learning algorithms. They're also heavily focused on developing proprietary AI-driven solutions, things that give them a unique edge, something clients can't get elsewhere.
Makes sense. Differentiate or die, essentially.
Right. And strategic partnerships are becoming increasingly important, collaborating with specialist tech companies to get access to cutting-edge AI without building everything in-house.
A shortcut to expertise, maybe?
In a way, yes. But maybe the most critical piece, the one that involves everyone, is continuous upskilling and reskilling of the workforce. Implementing really robust training programs so consultants gain that AI fluency we talked about, integrating AI into their daily workflows.
The human capital investment.
Absolutely paramount. And just to give you a sense of the scale, market projections suggest the global AI data centers market could hit nearly, USD 165 billion by 2034?
Wow.
It shows the sheer magnitude of investment needed. Now, for smaller firms, matching that scale is tough, often impossible. So their strategies look different. It might be hyper-specialization in a niche AI area, leveraging specific off-the-shelf tools effectively, or forming strong alliances and networks to compete collectively. It's less about matching dollar for dollar on infrastructure and more about finding a unique defensible value proposition.
That's a helpful distinction for different firm sizes. But let's tackle the big fear head-on, the robots taking our jobs fear. So what does this all mean for the actual human consultant? Is AI ultimately going to replace them? Or is this augmentation model truly the future? And even if it is augmentation, are certain roles, maybe junior analyst roles, genuinely at risk of just disappearing?
It's a valid concern, but the overwhelming consensus, and what the research supports, points towards a powerful human-AI partnership. It's augmentation, not replacement, at the core. Think about what AI is really good at. Processing massive data sets, spotting patterns humans might miss, automating repetitive tasks.
The grunt work sometimes?
Pretty much. Data collection, initial market scans, even synthesizing broad trends, tasks that used to eat up tons of junior consultant hours. AI can do a lot of that almost instantly now. But what does that do? It frees up the human consultants. It allows them to focus on the higher value activities. Deep strategic thinking, creative problem solving, navigating complex client relationships, making nuanced ethical judgments. Areas where, frankly, human empathy, critical thinking, and contextual understanding are still irreplaceable.
So the role shifts upwards, in a sense.
Exactly. Consultants become integrators. They bridge the gap between the raw power of AI tech and the complexities of business strategy. They provide the vital context, the interpretation, the so what for the AI-generated insights. So yes, some specific tasks, especially entry-level ones, are being automated. But the roles themselves are evolving, demanding different, arguably more sophisticated skills. This collaborative model really shows how human ingenuity can leverage technology for much greater impact.
That vision of collaboration is compelling. But it definitely raises some big non-technical questions. What about the ethical side of things? What implications do firms really need to grapple with as they embed AI this deeply? And practically speaking, how much control can you really have over something like algorithmic bias if you're using third-party AI or huge public data sets? Is explainability always even possible with the really advanced stuff?
These are absolutely critical points. Getting the ethics right is fundamental for trust. With clients, with regulators, with society. First, you have the major risk of algorithmic bias. If the data AI learns from reflects historical human biases, the AI can unintentionally perpetuate or even amplify those inequalities.
Right, garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely. Firms need rigorous data auditing, diverse training sets, constant vigilance. But it's an ongoing battle, especially when using external tools or data. Then there's data privacy and security. Hugely important, especially with sensitive client data. You need rock-solid data governance frameworks to ensure compliance and maintain that crucial client trust.
Non-negotiable, really.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the black box problem,
Yeah.
some complex AI models. Well, it's hard to know exactly how they reach a conclusion. That lack of transparency can seriously erode trust, which is why there's such a push for explainable AI XAI, making systems more transparent, more understandable.
Is that always achievable, though? True explainability.
Not always fully, especially with the most cutting-edge deep learning models. But the effort, the drive towards transparency and accountability is vital. And finally, let's not forget the very real concerns around job displacement. Even with augmentation, some roles, particularly at the entry level, might be significantly reduced, necessitating proactive workforce reskilling strategies. These aren't just consulting problems. They're universal challenges for any business adopting AI. Addressing them head-on is key to maintaining integrity.
Huge responsibilities there. Okay, let's make this more concrete. Can you share some examples, maybe some case studies, of where AI integration is really working well in consulting, and perhaps give us a peek into the future? What trends should we be keeping an eye on?
Definitely. We're seeing some impressive successes already. For instance, firms like McKinsey and BCG are using AI for highly sophisticated predictive analytics in financial services. Think forecasting market swings with greater accuracy, optimizing investment strategies in near real time.
Tangible results.
Very tangible. Or look at retail. We've seen AI-powered consulting projects optimize entire supply chains for global retailers, leading to things like a 15% jump in operational efficiency through much better demand forecasting and smarter inventory management. Imagine the cost savings there.
Huge.
Even in aviation, AI is being used for predictive maintenance on aircraft, optimizing flight paths for fuel efficiency, improving air traffic flow, delivering significant gains in both efficiency and safety.
So it's already making a real difference across sectors. What about looking ahead?
Looking forward, expect even more hyper-personalization. AI tailoring advice and solutions specifically to individual client needs and contexts, really bespoke insights. Generative AI is another big one. Its role will likely grow in automating tasks like drafting initial reports, summarizing research, maybe even outlining basic strategic plans. Humans then refine and add the strategic layer.
Taking care of the first draft, so to speak.
Exactly. We'll also see more sophisticated collaborative AI systems platforms designed for seamless human-machine interaction, turning data into strategy much faster. And underlying all this, continued massive market growth. That advanced analytics market hitting over, say, USD 130 billion by 2033, that's fueled directly by these AI and big data innovations. It paints a picture of continuous, dynamic evolution.
What stands out to you most in all of this?
Reflecting on all this research and the trends, it leads to a thought, maybe a provocative one for executives listening. The true competitive advantage in this AI era, it might not simply be about who has the fanciest AI technology. Instead, it could be about which firms can most ethically and effectively integrate human judgment, human creativity, human relationships with AI's incredible analytical power. It's about delivering solutions that are not just smart, but also tailored, high value, and fundamentally trustworthy, both for their clients and for society as a whole. That integration piece is key.
Thank you for joining the podcast, and see you soon.